Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by lush green hills, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Anifa. She was only 5 seasons old and known for her bright smile and gentle spirit. Anifa loved school, where she learned songs, numbers, and the tales of old. One sunny day, as the children walked home from school, a tricycle appeared like a chariot from nowhere. The driver, a man with a silver tongue, offered them a ride. "Come, little ones," he said, his voice smooth as honey. "I will take you home faster than your tiny feet can carry you." The children hesitated, but the man's eyes lingered on Anifa. "You, my dear, deserve a special ride," he said. Her friends cheered her on, thinking it a harmless act of kindness. Anifa climbed in, excited by the promise of the wind in her hair. But the tricycle did not turn toward her home. It vanished down the dusty road, carrying her away. The villagers soon realized that Anifa was missing, and her parents' cries echoed through the hills. A wicked spirit had entered their midst. Days turned into nights, and Anifa's parents were visited by a shadowy figure bearing demands for gold, a ransom for their beloved child. Their hearts were heavy, but they began to gather what they could, believing they would see Anifa again. Far away, Anifa sat quietly, her little heart brave despite the fear gripping her. She saw a familiar face, the man who had once smiled warmly at her in school. It was her principal, Mr. Tanko, the one who taught her songs and told her to dream big. "Why are you doing this?" her innocent eyes seemed to ask. But Tanko's heart had turned to stone, and his greed burned brighter than his shame. The recognition in Anifa's eyes sent shivers down his spine. He knew her memory could bring his downfall. The villagers' prayers for Anifa's safe return reached the skies, but Tanko's wickedness knew no bounds. Fearing her voice would betray him, he devised a cruel plan. He whispered lies to Anifa, promising to take her home. Instead, he led her to the silent school at night, where no eyes could see. He gave her a poisoned calabash to drink. "This will keep you safe," he lied, as the drink stilled her small body forever. Not satisfied with his evil, he called upon an accomplice, and together they broke her remains into pieces and buried them around the school grounds. Tanko returned to his home, his hands stained with blood, yet his greed unquenched. He demanded more gold from the grieving family, as if their sorrow were not enough. The village elders, wise as the baobab tree, sought the help of the guardians of justice. They set a trap for the greedy man. When Tanko came for the second ransom, they caught him in their web. The villagers gasped when the truth unraveled. The man who once taught their children was the monster who took Anifa away. Tanko's crimes were laid bare. He led the guardians to the school, where they unearthed the remains of the little girl. The wails of her parents shook the earth, and even the birds in the trees mourned her loss. The village gathered to decide Tanko's fate. Some whispered that his wife, who shared his home, must have known of his deeds. How could she not hear the cries of a stolen child, they asked. But others believed she was a victim of his deceit, like the rest of them. Anifa's story became a cautionary tale passed down through generations. The elders would say, evil often hides behind familiar faces. Teach your children to be wary of strangers, but also to speak up about the shadows they see, even in places of trust. Her spirit, they believed, joined the stars, watching over the village. Each night, they told their children to look up and remember her light. And so, the story of Anifa, the brave little girl, became a tale to remind the world of the need to protect its most innocent.